Tutorial on how to make a Google stream or Google Classroom stream, sorry, and also how to send a Google link to Sister Cleofe, and also on how to be familiarized with some of the parts of the Google Classroom. I know for some teachers I have already um presented a step-by-step training on how to use Google Classroom and also how to make a Google Classroom stream. But just a refresher from last year's training. So I'll be teaching you once again on how to make it. And of course, it's one also of the requests of Sister Cleofe that we will make um, a Google Classroom for our subjects so that we can also invite her in our Google Classroom stream. So first thing that you need to do is to ensure that you have a very strong internet connection so that everything will flow smoothly. And then you go to Google, open a new tab, and then go to the search engine and type Google Classroom. Okay, so once that you are redirected to the results based on your search in the search engine, so you go to Google Classroom. So before I forgot, if you already have your Google account, please make use of the official Google account that was given to us from or by CSR, because we will be using we will not be using our personal Google account, but we will be using the Google account given by the school, which is, for example, Saibel Ramirez at csr-ssc.edu.ph. It's quite different from our personal account, which is at gmail.com. So we're going to use our official Google account for the school. Okay, so just click here. Usually when you go to Google Classroom, and it's your first time, you don't have like a class yet. So usually what you see is blank. But since I already have a class here, so Sister Cleophas class and our Google Classroom classes from the second semester last school year. So usually this is what you see if you already have like an existing class. But if you're still new to Google Classroom, what you see is a blank like a dashboard. Okay? So what you see here is there will be like a main menu wherein you can transfer from one class to another. You can also see what are the activities that you need to review as a teacher. Like for example, you're going to assign like activities or quizzes, and then you need to review it, you need to check it. So this is where you would also look at those activities to all of the classes. And then the to do is if you're enrolled, if you're the student and you're not the teacher, so what are the things that you need to do or the activities you need to complete in the classes that you are enrolled in. And also you have the calendar. So like for example, if one class like the program head stream will schedule a meeting this Wednesday, so you would also see that in your Google Calendar. So everything is actually in sync. Now all of the I call this apps found in your Google account are all synced. So just don't mind if I'm using improper jargon, since I'm not really tech savvy. If I have misuse a jargon in my later discussion. Okay, so for example, this is all blank and you would like to start a class. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the upper right corner of your screen and you will see a plus icon just beside the Google Apps. So you're going to click here. And then, of course, since you're not going to enroll in a class because you're a teacher, so you're going to create a class. Once you click create class, you'll be redirected to name a class or create a class. So there are four blanks, namely class name, section, subject, and room. So you can provide the class name. For example, we can have like a uniform class name. We will have like a code. For example, the class code is, I don't know, course code is TPC 12, and then tourism marketing. It's just an example. And then the section is for BSTM second year. Okay. And then we're just gonna leave this blank because usually what is present or what is visible in the header is the class name and the section. And then we're gonna click create. So don't worry about if your name is going to appear in the header as long as you're using your Google account, and in your Google account it's your full name, so that will be present in the header, just like Sister Cleophas Google account. So when she created a class, her full name is present in the header. So just click create. So just wait until you'll be redirected to the stream since it's still creating. I'll just close the other tab. Okay. Once your class is created, you will be then redirected to this stream. You can change your header if you'd like. You can customize your own header. There are plenty of templates in Canva, or you can just choose like a class theme already made na siya. So for example, since it's tourism, or I don't see any tourism pictures here, I'll just click this, select class theme. So what you see in your header is, of course, the name of the subject and the course code and the section. So since there's only one class in the second year, so isa lang ako ibutang nila, no? BSTM second year lang. And then for class code, this is what you usually give to your students in order for them to join your class. So you just click here and then click copy invite link. Or if you would like to give them the code, just copy this and then send it to your group chat. But if you're going to invite, like for example, Sister Cleofe, and you would like to invite through email, just click copy invite link. So link is copied. So automatically, once you give this to Sister Cleofe, she will just click the link and she will be automatically enrolled in your course. And then you can change Sister Cleofe as a teacher or invite her as the teacher. There are other ways to invite Sister Cleofe as a teacher and not the student, so that she can also have an access to your activities. So what you're going to do first is you go to your Gmail. So this is my personal Gmail. I'm just gonna go change it to the official CSR Google account. Okay, so since this is my personal Gmail, so let me just change it. Okay, so you need to make sure that before you will explore the tools that are found in Google Classroom, you need to send an invite link to Sister Cleofe first, since she needs it so that she will be included in your class. So you can compose like an email. Make sure you're going to use your official CSR Google account. So it's probably gonna take a while since a lot of people are using the internet. Okay, so while waiting, let's just go back to this stream. So once you already send Sister Cleffe, you can also generate a meeting link. So no need for you to create. Okay, sorry. Nag-freeze ako ang cam. Okay, so no need for you to create a link every class. Like for example, every time that you have an online class, no need for you to create an a meeting link. So you can just make use of one link for the entire class. So you can generate a meeting link. Just click. Make sure it's also visible to the students. Okay. So this is what I meant about making sure you have a strong internet connection, because this can sometimes affect um, how you do your activities in the Google Classroom. And one thing that is um, like a setback in Google Classroom is that once you've created a file in Google Docs and you want to save it to your Google Classroom, sometimes it will not like automatically be saved offline. So all the previous changes will be lost if you don't save it while you are still online. Okay, so this is your generated Google, meeting link. This will be your official meeting link every time that you will have asynchronous class. But you can make it visible to students so that they can also have a direct access to the meeting link. And then just click save. Okay. It's really difficult for me to send an email right now. Okay. So actually this is not um like a new email. Okay, here it is there. You can write there Google Classroom invite link. And then just send it to Sister Cleofe. So her email address is agua at csr-sc.edu.ph. So make sure to send it to Sister Cleofe. So just paste your link here. So you can write like, good morning, Sister Cleofe. Attached in this email is the link to my Google Classroom. Best regards, Miss Ramirez. So you can just write it there and then send it to Sister, that she can be invited to your class, because that is what she requires all teachers to send her a classroom invite link. Okay, so once you've sent an email to Sister informing her of your Google Classroom invite link, so you need to also go to people. You can add her manually. So what you're going to do is add a teacher, not a student. So since Sister Clough is a teacher, so we're just going to invite her. So click invite and then add her email address, which is agua at csr-sc.edu.ph. Just click that and then click invite. So I'm not gonna do that because this is not my official Google Classroom link. But once of course, once you already have your official Google Classroom, you can do that manually. So that in case that she will not receive your email, she will still be invited to your Google Classroom. Okay, so let's go back to the stream. What you see here, you can make actual announcements or like upload reading materials to your students. For example, if I would like to introduce or welcome my class, then I could just click announce something to your class. And then if I'm going to make like an announcement to two classes, so I'll just click this class and the principles of marketing class. So the announcement will be sent to two classes. For example, I will only be sending it to this class, so I'll just remove the check mark on the principles of marketing. And then, for example, if I would like to make like one announcement to a specific student, I can also change who will be the recipient from this class. So for example, I have 5 students, then for example, Anna Marie will only be receiving my announcement. So since it's special project for her, then I can just change it. Since I don't have any students yet, so I cannot choose a student that who will receive the information. But if you would like everyone to know the announcement, then you can click all students. Once that is done, you can click post. Same goes with uploading reading materials. Like for example, you've placed like a greeting or a welcome letter to all of your students, welcoming them to the new school year. So you can just add a document. Click if you have already an existing document in your Google Drive, you can upload that, or a file from your laptop, or even a YouTube video. If you are creative enough to make like an announcement video, then you can also um, paste a link from YouTube. So that's just an example. I would like to welcome my students. You can upload like a document or a picture, and then automatically it will be inserted to your announcement, and then just post anything. So take note, your announcement will not be posted once you write a caption. So it's important that you'll also write a caption, or your announcement or like your letter will not be uploaded. Okay. So this is intended for like announcements, or if you would like to give them something to read, not a graded activity. So they can even interact with you because they can post their comments on your announcements, or if you would like to raise like a question or like a discussion board, you can. You can place a discussion board here and everyone can interact. Hopefully everyone can interact so they can write their comments. In here, these are on the side um of your stream is like an announcement bulletin. That's what I call it. Wherein all of the upcoming tasks will be posted here. Like for example, there will be an incoming quiz. So that announcement will be posted here. So both you and the student will see what are the upcoming activities that they need to comply. So once you are already acquainted with the um, stream, main stream, let's now proceed to the classwork. So in the classwork feature, you can make your assignments or upload quizzes and questions here. So there are a lot of options. You can upload like Slido, like what you do in Slido, wherein there are questions in like as a PowerPoint presentation, and the students will have to answer it. Or you can upload like a document wherein, like for example, if it's an essay type, so you can upload a Word document where they can put their answers, or you can even create a Google form. So wherein they can fill up, like for example, you will have a short quiz, so like a case study, wherein they will have to pick the answers from the choices, or situational question and answers, wherein um, you'll place questions in the Google form and then they will have to pick the correct answer. You can even have activity, like for example, you would like them to draw. If your subject is contemporary arts and you would like them to draw or express themselves through like a drawing, so you can also do that. Or for example, if you're going to teach like accounting or finance and there are computations, so there are also spreadsheets available. So you will explore this feature. So for you to create an assignment, you need to go here in this create button. So you'll be given different options if you're going to upload an assignment. For their classwork, a quiz assignment. So most probably you're going to use Google Forms. So the assignment could be like a reading assignment or research. So you can make use of different tools such as Google Forms or Google Docs. A question, so for example, you would just like to raise philosophical question, and then they will have to answer it like a discussion board. So everyone can participate in the discussion or in the question. So they'll be giving each of their responses. Material is you have already a ready-made activity sheet, then you'll just have to upload it. Or a reuse post, meaning you've already posted this activity and you're going to reuse it or to repost it. And topic. So usually, if we're going to have like an activity other than a quiz, so we click assignment. So you'll be then redirected to a part of the assignment wherein you're going to fill up the important details such as the title of the assignment, what are the instructions, if you're going to add your own ready-made activity sheet or assignment sheet, or you'll just have to create it from scratch using different tools such as if you're going to have like an essay or a case study, you can make use of Google Docs, or if they're going to make like an action plan or a sustainability development plan, you can make use of Google Docs. Slides, so for example, if you want it to be interactive, like Slido, wherein um, there are questions already in the slide and they will just have to answer it. And then Google Sheets. So again, as what I've mentioned, if your activity is more on computations, you can make use of Google Sheets. Google Drawings is like for subjects like contemporary arts, wherein you're going to express yourself through drawing. And Google Forms, if you would like to have like a quiz, enumeration, identification, essay, if you're going to have like a Likert scale type of quiz, then you can, no, by using Google Forms. And then on the right side, so you can also choose, like for example, if this activity is intended for more than one class, then you can choose multiple classes. So no need for you to to go to another class and then make the same kind of assignment. So you can just make one assignment and then assign it to all classes. Just make sure that those assignment is also in line with the subject. So, or for example, if this activity is only intended for two students, so you can also change the recipient of the activity. So you can change, like for example, only Anna Mark and Ivy will answer this activity. So you can change it here. Since I do not have any students yet, so I cannot choose any student. And then you can also change the points. Like for example, if this is just like a 50 item test, you can change that. This is important because once you grade them in the like sort of like an e-class of the Google Classroom, then you will need to provide the points of each activity. If it's an ungraded activity, just to no just to measure their learnings, or for example, what they have understood from your lesson, then you can click ungraded. Or if it's just an exercise, no, to test what they have learned. So for example, this is like a 50 item test. Just click 50. And then due date. So for example, if you're going to assign it today, you can move the due date until the 16th. So that will give them like ample time to finish the assignment or the quiz. But the quiz, usually I would just give them like an hour to finish the quiz if it's a long quiz. And then usually when I give assignments, the deadline will always be until 11:59 p.m. So just before midnight. But again, we have different preferences as a teacher. If you would like to have your deadline after a day and then you'd like like them to submit on or before 8 p.m., you can do that. So you can also, like what Sister Cleophie said, you can also check for plagiarism, but this is not as strong as Grammarly and Turnitin. So I suggest if you're going to check like an essay, you can also make use of Grammarly. But of course, you need to subscribe to a premium account to have a plagiarism checker, because usually Grammarly only does grammar check for free. But if you'd like to check if the document has been plagiarized or there is copyright infringement, so you need to subscribe to a premium account. So sometimes it would range for example, like 1,500 a month if it's a monthly subscription, or 7,000 per year. But I am not paid by Grammarly. Ano na siya? Kanang chika ra nako. Okay, going back. So for example, the title of the assignment is introduction, or like a diagnostic quiz, pero we don't do diagnostic man siguro. For example, Unit 1 test on tourism marketing. By the end of the unit, you're going to have like a quiz or an activity. And then just provide the instructions. It's up to you. And then, for example, if you do not have like a ready-made activity sheet, you can create your own. So if you'd like to have like a Google form, this will be intended for another day. Okay, if I'm going to teach you how, it would take, it's a very long time. So I'll make a separate video on how to make a Google form, or like an answer sheet, even feedback forms using Google form. So trick is, I think it's best, although it's convenient if you're going to provide the answer for each question. For example, if you're going to make this as a quiz and then you're going to provide the answer for each question, there are students actually that can hack Google form and they can also see the answer of the Google form. So because it's not as sophisticated as Canvas and or Quipper, or what is the other one that Ateneo uses. They use Canvas, but there's also another one. I think Schooler. I don't know. I forgot. I forgot the name. But Canvas has a very sophisticated technology wherein they can even detect if the student is going to open a new tab while answering the quiz. So, mabalaan niya na, for example, ga-answer ko ano niya, mo open ko og Google, kay search ako ang answer, mabalaan na niya Google Classroom, although it's easy, it's very convenient for teachers and students, but students can also hack the Google form. They can see the answers. So what I usually do is I don't provide the answers, or just provide like an essay type of question wherein they won't be able to Google it. They will just have to write their own answer based on what they have understood from the question. If ever they're going to still search for the answer from the internet, we can still conduct like a plagiarism test. But of course, we need to be subscribed to a premium account in Grammarly or Turnitin. That's how smart students are. If we find ways on how to assess them, they will also find ways on how to um, do it easily, without even studying or ano. So we need to also be smart. So take for example, since again going to devote like another day to make a tutorial on how to make like a quiz using Google Forms. But you can make use of Kahoot or Slido, which is very interactive and it has a time limit. Edmodo also has a feature wherein you can have an interactive quiz, but it will also be timed. Actually, there are also extensions available for Google Classroom wherein you can have like a time limit for the Google form, but I haven't explored that yet. And I've tried numerous times, but it's not as the way I expected it would be. Unlike sa Slido and sa Kahoot wherein naadyo siya time nga magdagan dira sa screen. Okay. So, like, take for example, if you've already finished your form, or the quiz using Google Forms, then you're going to assign it right away. But for example, if you just announce it to your class nga, okay, I will post a quiz tomorrow at 8 a.m. You can already make your quiz today, but schedule it for tomorrow. So if you would also like to like save this as a draft because, like, for example, you are tired, you have a lot of things to do, and you would just like to go back to this draft after you've done like your chores, or for example after you've rested or done other activities at home, you could just save it as a draft so you can come back to this draft later and finish it. So you don't have to pressure yourself. You have to finish the entire activity within today. If you are tired, you can rest and then you can just save it as a draft. But if, for example, if you've already finished the quiz, then you can schedule it for tomorrow. For example, if your announcement is 8 a.m. tomorrow, so just change the date. That's tomorrow and then 8 a.m. Or for example, you're going to post it tomorrow at 10 p.m. At 10 a.m. Sorry. I'll just change it. Sometimes I just put 10 a.m. and then it automatically writes 10 a.m. So that will be scheduled for tomorrow, 10 a.m. You'll be notified via your email that the assignment will be posted. So at least Google Classroom also does like a follow through. They also notify you once this assignment will be posted tomorrow. Even your students will be updated as well once they are already enrolled in your class. So you encourage them to check their email all from time to time. Okay, so take note that once you create your class, all of the activities, all of the quizzes, all of the PowerPoint presentation, all of the recorded videos that you post in this classroom will directly be uploaded to your class drive folder. So you don't have to worry, like for example, if the files in your laptop, um, you cannot retrieve them, unfortunately. Like, I don't want to wish that, pero unfortunately. But you did upload activities or your slides online in your Google Classroom. You can still retrieve it using your class drive folder. Okay, usually that's what I do when I make another stream. For example, for summer, for the same subject. For example, I have a student who is an irregular student, and then I have to make like another class. For example, tourism marketing for summer, and I don't have to re-upload it again. I can just go to my class drive folder, search for tourism marketing for second semester, and then just upload the learning materials from there to my summer class, Google class. So, and that way, I don't have to like, re-upload the same file again. Okay, so once you are done, so you already know what is people, no? So here, under people, you will see who are your students. You can even kick out a student who is not officially enrolled in your class. Usually what I do to my students is I remind them that they need to change their name. May uban nga kanang they use like a pseudonym or like an anime name. Although I also like anime, no? Or pambata nga koan. Because I'm also young at heart. But of course, it'd be difficult for us teachers to identify them, especially if they don't also use their picture, no, in their Google account. So we often change, no, or often kick out students who don't follow instructions. So you need to remind them that they need to change it to their full name so that it would be easy for us to identify them. Okay, we only see them virtually. And then this part, we also see the teachers in this class. So it's not only limited to you. Again, you can invite Sister Cleofe or the program head to also be a part of your Google Classroom so that they can also monitor the activities that you post, the announcements that you post in the Google Classroom. Now for the grades, so again, like per student, you cannot see this here because there's no student enrolled yet, but it looks like an e-class record and there's a name of a student and then each activity and then the total points. So for example, activity 1 is 50 points. So you will see there how many points that a student get once you've already reviewed the activity. So I think I'll just give you like an example of that. I have already like a class in research. I haven't archived it yet because we are still making like a publishable paper for the students. So this is what you see usually under grades. So for example, these are the list of the students. And then these are the activities. So out of 50 points, the class average is 49.78. So you will know how many passed, how many failed as well. Because say for example, the student failed to submit an activity, so automatically it be labeled as missing. And then you will also see like turned in. What do you mean by turned in? Turned in means that the student submitted the assignment and you haven't checked it yet. If you already have like a score here, means you already checked the assignment. So you have to provide like the score manually. So you don't have to um like let the Google Classroom decide how many points it gets out of 100. You have to check it manually and you have to provide the score manually. So you have to check it first and then okay, out of 100, she will be getting like 98 points. Missing is for students who haven't submitted an assignment. And as you can see here, we also have like one student who turned in an assignment, but there is a label done late other here because it means that when they submitted the assignment, it's already past the deadline. So this is not turned in because the student submitted the assignment in my personal Google account or in my Gmail. But still, I gave them a grade so that they will also be able to see how much is their score in this activity. Because there are students who cannot upload activities, so they would say to me, Ma'am, pwede sa messenger lang ako isa ng pictures, hinay kang internet ko, sige sure, para di mo para makaabot pod mo sa deadline. And then, ako lang ibutang ilang score diri para di po ko makalimot nga they have already submitted. Okay. So that's it. No? Um, let's make use of here of the main menu. So again, like for example, you have like 5 classes. These are the subjects that you teach, and then you click to review. Okay. So to review. So these are the activities. What you see here, these are the activities that you are going to check. So here it is. There are a lot of activities that I need to check. This is some last year. So if you're going to check this, and once you are done, you're going to go here and then click Mark as Reviewed. Automatically, this will be removed from your to review dashboard. So don't forget to check your to review from time to time so that you will be able to know what are the activities that you need to check, how many students have already turned in, how many students are still did not turn in. So there are 12 students who did not turn in, and how many students have you already returned their assignment. And that's it. No, that ends my discussion on how to make a Google Classroom using the Google Classroom. So how to make a Google Stream using Google Classroom. So if you have any questions, you can just ask me personally in my Facebook Messenger. So if there are things that I forgot to mention, you can ask me personally also at school once you see me in the hallway or at the office. So thank you so much everyone for listening. Goodbye.